Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we will study about the working of for loop. So for loop, uh, so there are three things that you have to keep in mind when you are designing for loop. The first thing is the initialization condition, and the second is your condition, and the third is your increment or decrement. So this way we commonly design for loops, and then this is the body of the for loop. So this is generally what I have, basically what I've in a way just in an abstract way trying to explain what is a for loop. So let us try to understand with the help of a concrete example. Let us just for example, I want to print number from 1 to 10. So I will declare one variable I. So how I want to do it? What will be the initialization condition? See, first I have to give the initialization. So what will be the initialization? I have to initialize the value of I equal to 1. Why? Because I have to print numbers from 1 to 10. This is what I want to do. I want to print numbers from 1 to 10. So I have to initialize I equal to 1. And what is the terminating condition? What is the condition? The condition is that I should always be less than or equal to 10, because I have to print numbers from 1 to 10. And then I can keep on incrementing the value of I. Alright. And inside this, suppose I say cout I, and let us give a space after it. All right, and once you save this, and if you go and actually clean and build this application, and if you go and run it, you will get numbers from 1 to 10. Suppose now what I want to do, I just want to print the odd numbers from 1 to 10. So I can say, so I want to print odd numbers from 1 to 10. So I have initialized the first odd number will be equal to 1, and I will continuously increment the value of I by what? I will continuously increment the value of I by 2, I equal to I plus 2. So what I've done over here, I have incremented the value of I by 2. All right. So let us clean and build this application. And now once when you go and run it, you'll get all the odd numbers from 1 to 10. So this way we do it. So let us try to do one more example. Suppose I want to print the multiplication table of a number. So I take a number, suppose num, and now if I want to print the multiplication table of num. So multiplication tables are generally from, you print multiplication tables from 1 to 10. So this way we do it. So let us take one more variable, suppose I. And this num variable is a number for whom I want to print the multiplication table. Suppose I want to print the multiplication table of 5. So what will I write over here? See here, I'll just remove it. What should I write over here? See, I print the multiplication table from 1 to 10. So that is why I've run this loop from 1 to 10. Now I can write something like this. Cout what? See, I can write num and then into and then I can write I, and then I can write equals and num into I, and of course I can give a new line after this, and I think it should run. Let us clean and build this. And now once when you go and run this application, see, you are getting the multiplication table of 5, and you are running the loop from 5, it is coming from 1 to what? 1 to 10. So that's why you're running the loop from 1 to 10. So many times it is the case in for loop, you have to decide for how many times, for how many iterations your loop is going to run. All right. This is the basic working of for loop. Now let us try to create one pattern using for loop. So I'll just tell you what is the pattern which we want to create. All right. So we want to create, we want to draw this pattern: 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever you are given such kind of problem, see in this case there are how many rows? There are 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and in the first row there is only one column, in the second row there are two columns, in the third row there are three columns. So whenever you have to iterate like this, it's a kind of matrix kind of structure. So first of all, you iterate over the number of rows. So what is the number of rows? The number of rows is equal to 5. So how will I iterate over the number of rows? I will say for I equal to 1, I less than equal to 5, and then I will say I plus plus. If I use this loop, then I can iterate over the number of rows. Suppose now if you are in the third row, then how many columns are there in the third row? There are 3 columns in the third row. If you are in the fourth row, then how many columns are there in the fourth row? There are 4 columns in the fourth row. So if if you are in the third column, for example, if you are in the third column, then what will be the value of I? The value of I will be equal to 3. So in the when you are in the third row, you have to print 3 columns. So you have, inside this you'll have to write this is a classic example of nested loops. So here you have to create some more one variable. Suppose j is equal to 1, and then I can say j is less than equal to what? J is less than equal to I, and then j plus plus. And here I can I can print j. I can write cout j. Okay. Let us try to work it out. Alright, I'll just clear all this. I'll remove the draw tool and I'll just minimize it. Let us try to actually work it out. So here, though when I have to print this pattern, I have to first of all initialize I equal to 1. I can say it's an integer I equal to 1, I less than or equal to what? 5, and then I can say I plus plus. So what will be the initial value of I? It will be equal to 1. So once the value of I is equal to 1, how many columns you have to print? That means you are in the first row, and in the first row you have to print how many columns? You have to print 1 column. So I can say for integer j is equal to 1 and j is less than or equal to what? This is the important part. J is less than or equal to I, and then I can say j plus plus. And here, this is the nested for loop, and inside this I can just print what? I can just print j, and then I can give a space after this. Alright, and once I get out of the body of this for loop, I can say cout new line. Let us see if this is working or not. Clean and build, and okay, and now if I go and run it, let us see if it is coming on. So yeah, it is coming. So this series is getting printed. If you are not able to understand it, then I'll just explain it to you. I'll just again take the draw tool and let me minimize it. For example, just let me okay, here I don't think, okay, alright, so here let us do this thing. Alright, you have I and then you have j. Initially what is the value of I? The value of I is equal to 1, and then suppose this is what I say, this is the for example, this is the output. Alright, now I is equal to 1. With the value of I is equal to 1, it will go inside this for loop. It will go inside the for loop. So inside the body of the for loop, what I have written, I have said for j is equal to 1, and since I is equal to 1, it will run only 1, and it will print what? It will print the output as 1, and then it will come out of the body of this for loop. See this for loop, and then it will print what? It will print a new line. So it will come to the second line, the output will come out to the second line, and now the value of I will again increment, and it will become what? 2. So with the value of 2, it will go inside the for loop, and it will go to the inner for loop, and j will run from 1 to what? J will run from 1 to 2. So what will be printed? 1 and 2 will be printed, and then again what I am saying, I am again printing a new line. So it will come to the third line, and then I will become what? I will become, in this case, it will become I3. So j will run from 1 to 3. So it will print 1, 2, and 3, and so on. This will continue. Okay. So I'll just clear all this. Alright. Thank you. So this is basic working of for loops. And suppose I want you to draw this pattern. Suppose you have to draw this pattern: 1 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4 4 and 5 5 5 5 5. What changes will you make? See, this is not, properly spaces and indentation is not there, but still, what change you will have to make to this program to make it run? So here I think you have to make just one change. If you just in place of j, if you replace it with I, then it will give the required output. See, if I, for example, I just again clean and build this application, and now once when I go and run this application, see, it is giving the required output. Why? Because initially the value of I, see, in this outer for loop, the value of I is equal to what? It is equal to 1, and then with this value it is going inside this for loop. So this for loop is going to, this inner for loop will execute only one time, and it will print what? It will print 1, and then it will come to a new line, and the value of I will be incremented to 2. So now with this value of 2, this inner for loop will execute from j is equal to 1, so j less than equal to 2, and it will print what? It will print only I. So I is equal to 2, so it will print 2 times 2, and similarly in the case of 3, 4 and 5. So you will get this output like this. Okay, so I think I will not I will not go into the very great details of for loop and solve some complex problem using for loops, nested for loops. I'll not do all this. I think you can have many other books regarding it. So you can refer some other resources regarding it. My basic task over here is to try to explain you the concepts of object-oriented programming using C++. This, I think, all we have covered in when we studied C. So this is just a kind of refresher if you are not clear with the concepts. Okay, thank you so much for watching my videos, and please do keep on liking and subscribing all my videos. Thank you.